Our journey begins at Loch Tay, or to be more precise, at the village of Kenmore. This is the first bridge of 20 to cross the Tay. It was built in 1774. The bridge is far too narrow for the modern traffic and requires traffic lights to manage the situation. Behind Taymouth Castle stands the next bridge. This is the Chinese Bridge. It is thought that the name comes from a previous wooden bridge, probably built about the middle of the 18th century. Newhall Bridge is not an easy bridge to find, as it is very well camouflaged by trees. It is now unsafe to use and is closed. The bridge was built either at the end of the 18th century or the beginning of the 19th century. Wade's Bridge at Aberfeldy is one of the most historically interesting bridges in the region. The obelisks are a distinctive feature of this bridge. The bridge was built by General George Wade in 1733 and is one of his proudest achievements, and formed part of Wade's military road from Crieff to Dalnacardoch. Just a quarter of a mile downstream, we come to our first modern bridge, built in the 1990s. It is for pedestrians only and used mainly by golfers. At Grantley there is this wrought iron girder bridge, which is fairly narrow and can no longer cope with the modern traffic. Only one car at a time may cross. The river in this area is well known for its water sports activities. A new part of the road carrying traffic from Ballinluig to Aberfeldy was constructed in 1976, crossing the Tay by this bridge just below Pitnacree. This bridge at Logie Rate looks like a railway bridge. If this is the case, this car is in big trouble. The truth being, this used to be a railway bridge. In 1861 it was decided to build a branch railway line from Ballinluig on the Highland Line to Aberfeldy. The bridge was opened in 1865 but was closed on the 3rd of May 1965 when the branch line ceased to function. Nowadays it is used by pedestrians and the occasional vehicle. This is definitely a railway bridge, situated at Dalgais. It carries the Highland Line, which came into being in 1865 after the amalgamation of the Inverness and Aberdeen Junction and the Inverness and Perth Junction railways. On this side of the bridge it is a good area for sunbathing, and the other side if you prefer to be in the shade. Fishermen choose either side wherever the fish are biting. Just above Dunkeld stands this bridge, constructed to take the Dunkeld Bypass Road, which was started in 1975. The bridge was opened in 1977. There is a fine walk from this bridge to Dunkeld, then up the other side of the river, with spectacular scenery all year round. This bridge at Dunkeld was built by Thomas Telford. Before the bypass was built, this was the main road north. Construction of the bridge began in the spring of 1803 and was opened to the public in October 1808. In 2007, the land span on the Dunkeld side was opened to the public to view. It was thought it would have made a good prison, but was never used for this purpose. At the Burnham side of the bridge stands the toll house, which is not the original. Capeth Bridge is quite a modern bridge, opened on May the 28th, 1993 by Councillor James Glover. First there was a ferry which ran till 1888, when the first bridge built by William Arrol was opened. The largest salmon caught by rod and line was landed here on the 7th of October 1922 by Georgina Ballantyne. This seems to be a meeting place for would-be artists. Kinclaven Bridge is a very fine bridge of red sandstone and was opened on the 2nd of April 1905 by Colonel Home Drummond. It is not a very wide bridge, but has no traffic lights, which can cause some problems. Another railway bridge now closed is the Cargill Bridge. Construction began in 1845 and it was opened in August 1848. For many years it carried the Perth to Aberdeen line. It was closed to passenger trains in September 1967. For some time after this it was used by freight trains only. We now reach Perth's first bridge, built by William Smeaton in 1766. It was widened in 1869. We can see the heights of many of the floods which carried away several bridges throughout the centuries. This should be a thing of the past, thanks to Perth's flood prevention scheme. Even at night the bridge looks spectacular. And during the day catches this artist's eye. Just downstream stands the Queen's Bridge, which was opened by Queen Elizabeth in 1960. It replaced the Victoria Bridge, which was opened in 1900. We now reach Perth Railway Bridge, which takes trains from Perth to Dundee. The first rail bridge was made of wood and was replaced by this one in 1863. There is also a walkway across the bridge, where halfway you can descend to the island golf course. From this bridge you get a fine view of the two previous bridges. The newest of Perth's bridges is the Friarton Bridge. Constructed in April 1975, it carries the M85, the shortest motorway in the UK, across the Tay. It has a navigation clearance of 25 metres to allow the boats up to Perth Harbour. The Tay flows on for another 20 miles before we reach our next bridge. The Tay Railway Bridge at Dundee is 2¼ miles long. It has a double track and was designed by William Henry Barlow and built by William Arrell. The bridge was opened on the 13th of July 1887. 14 men lost their lives during its construction, mostly due to drowning. It was strengthened in 2003 at a cost of £20.85 million. This is all that remains of the first rail bridge, which collapsed during a storm on the 28th of December 1879, with great loss of life. We now reach the last bridge over the Tay Road Bridge. It is 1.4 miles long, making it one of the longest bridges in Europe. It takes traffic directly into the centre of Dundee. The bridge makes a fine backdrop to the sailing ship Discovery. This is a picture of one of the last ferries which ran till the bridge opened on the 18th of August 1966. The bridge consists of 42 spans with a navigation channel located closer to the Fife side. The bridge was designed by William Fairhurst. Construction began in March 1963. When recording this film, the bridge was still a toll bridge. This ended on the 11th of February 2008. The 50-foot obelisk was built to commemorate Willie Logan, managing director of the construction company, who was killed in a plane crash near Inverness, and 5 workers who died during the bridge construction. After this, the 20th and last bridge over the Tay, the river flows on, carrying the greatest volume of water of any river in Britain, onwards into the North Sea.